Hello, friends. This is Christy Harang, Director of Operations for Thrive Today, and welcome to this episode of Relational Skills in Real Life. I am stepping in temporarily for Chris Corsi as we do a series of interviews with the Thrive Today team and the trainers of our Thrive Premier training. And this is just a chance for you to get to know our team a little bit better, our trainers, and to see how relational skills are making an impact in all of our lives. So today I'm super excited to have Shannon Campau joining us today. She is part of our team. And if you have ever emailed our info email or our events email, or you've come to an event and someone's chatting with you and giving you the information that you need, that is our wonderful Shannon. She's an absolute treasure. So Shannon, thanks for being with us.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here and to chat with you.
So Shannon, tell us a little bit about how you got introduced to relational skills.
So, my friend who lives in Iowa, which is very far away from here, where I live in Michigan, called me up one day and said, "Hey, I'm going to this training thing. It's about learning joy, and I need a place to stay because it's in Holland. Can I stay with you?" And so I said, "Sure. What's the party? I want to come join." And so I ended up coming to Thrive, and I had absolutely no idea what it really was about. I had no idea what it was for. I just knew my friend wanted to do it, and I was her partner, and I was going to do all the things, and we were going to have fun. And I was in for a very big surprise when I actually got there.
Oh, wow. So you came to the training, really didn't know what it was, but here you are, how many years later, part of the Thrive Today team, and seeing these relational skills actually take root in your life.
Yes, it was such a huge God blessing thing. He orchestrated everything so I could come and just learn so much and grow up. And, when you're 40, you still have to grow up? you know? Yes, you do.
So we were actually in track two together. That's how we met.
Yes.
This little fun fact. But Shannon, so you're going to talk to us a little bit about skill two. I'm going to define this. So you can check out podcast number eight. Number eight, Chris talks about the skill of quieting. Well, he talks about it in depth in this podcast episode. We have more episodes on it as well. But quieting is really the ability to calm ourselves, to quiet ourselves, to downshift from a higher energy state to a lower energy state. So Shannon, why don't you tell us a little bit about this skill and how it has been making an impact in your life?
Yeah. So when I went to track one, they had us do little sections of quieting. And being a good little church girl, I knew how to sit still and be quiet in a church pew. But that's not actually what quieting is, because I knew how to sit at the stop sign in my car with the engine revving, waiting to go, and I was still, and I wasn't moving, but I wasn't actually quiet. My engine was just waiting to go to the next thing, and I had to learn what it actually felt like in my body to actually bring my energy down, to slow down, to calm down, to bring my heart rate down. And my family of origin, amazing family, love my mom and dad, but we didn't learn this skill. There's 10 people in my family. We were high energy, 15 conversations going on all at the same time, and we all kept track of all of them. But to quiet and to slow down and just be together without something having to happen all the time wasn't something I was familiar with, and it was actually extremely hard for me. Like, it was actually scary for me to calm down and be okay just being quiet, because when you're quiet, that's when your brain turns back on and all the things start coming up. And so I really, really struggled with that, and it impeded my ability to work on some of the other things that God needed to fix and heal in my life, because I wasn't able just to sit still in his lap and be comforted and calm and quiet. I was too busy running every which way, and the brain never shut down. And so for me, learning that skill was huge. It was hard. It was a ton of work, but it has been so healing and so freeing and fixing in my life, and in my soul is better that I can quiet. And it hasn't changed my high energy, let's have a party, but I can attune, I can slow down, and I can be with people without being manic, I guess, being overwhelming, hopefully.
That's beautiful, Shannon. I love that. I love just because we all have deficiencies or things we didn't get growing up.
Mhm.
And I hear with you just the battle in having to learn this skill, and yet I love the fact that you stuck it out, that you stuck it out and kept practicing and persevering and are seeing the payoff in your life now
Yes.
as a result.
Yes.
So, could you share with us an example maybe of a time recently where you have been able to quiet when it was needed and how that might have looked differently if, post quieting Shannon? What how it might have played out
Pre-quieting and
without the
past
skill.
quieting.
Yeah.
Yes. So I am married. I have an amazing husband, and it's so easy to get stuck with the people who are closest to you, right? Because you have all
Oh,
this
yeah.
baggage, all this, past history with this person. And so a way they say something might trigger all sorts of things. And I was in the kitchen working, and my husband came in and made a comment, and it just like the whole world exploded. And I immediately recognized, because when you quiet and you know how to quiet, you recognize when you go from I'm okay, my RCs are on, my relational circuits are happy, to whoops, I just fell off the cliff and I am in free fall kind of thing. I
Mhm.
recognize that and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is this where I want to be and how I want to be right now? Do I want to break up um my connection with my husband, my best friend? Do I want to find out what's going on and why he said that? And so I was able to reconnect with him. We both expressed what we meant, and his was completely benign. He was interested in connecting with me, and I mistook what he said.
Mm.
And we were able to fix it in like under 10 minutes, which is like amazing because in past history, Shannon would have gotten hurt, would have shut down, and would have just not talked, not engaged for depending on the infraction, up to 3 days, which is miserable. It's absolutely
Mhm.
miserable to live in contention like that. And now I'm able to deal with a hurt, a misunderstanding, a thing. Maybe not in 90 seconds yet, which is the ultimate goal, but definitely in less than an hour. I can
Mhm.
go from being mad to being like, okay, let's fix this. I want to be back together in community with you. I want to be back in right relationship with my Heavenly Father. I want to be able to be the person God created me to be and have joy and energy in life instead of being this batten down the hatches, enemies coming kind of thing, which is
Mhm.
absolutely no fun to be in.
Yeah. So it sounds like you didn't say it, but maybe talk us through a little. You took a breath. Like, what did quieting
Yeah.
look like for you in that moment?
So in that moment, just the recognition of I am not at peace.
Hmm.
You almost physically take a step back. I play volleyball, and so like if you mess up on the court, you're like, "Gah!" And you almost have to like step back into your training, reset your stance,
Mm.
reset. Okay, I need to get down. My platform needs to be a little better when I receive the ball. I need to take a step back. I need to take a breath. I need to slow down. I need to, okay, lighten, take the tightness out of my shoulders. I need to, not curl into myself so my gut hurts. I'm stepping back and just going, okay, I am not being attacked. I am safe. My heavenly Father loves me. I am loved.
Mm.
This person in front of me is not my enemy. Breathe in. Breathe out, and then almost it's like resetting your body to go, okay, let's try this again.
Mm.
What did you mean when you said this? Because I heard this. Is that what you meant? And then you're giving the person the ball back to, you know, do with it as they will and pass it back to you. And so it's just that whole idea of, wait, this is not right. Let's get back to where we want to be. Let's get our bodies ready. And for me, being an athlete and a dancer, like having your body senses ready for what you actually want to experience rather than, you know, being defensive and hiding, you're not ready. You can't do anything. You've taken yourself out of the game. And I want to be in the game. I want to be present. I want to be ready to receive.
Mhm.
And taking that deep breath and resetting yourself helps me do that.
Thank you, Shannon. That's beautiful. I really appreciate you painting that picture for us. And as you're talking, you are using a lot more advanced skills in that scenario as well.
Mhm.
But what it really highlights is that quieting is a foundational skill, and a lot of the other skills build upon it. And so the
Yes.
ability to be able to navigate emotions, the ability to get back to joy when we lose it, all these things, quieting is having that skill as a base is
Yes.
so helpful for being able to navigate through these more difficult situations. So, if you want to learn more about the skill of quieting, you can check out our Thrive Today page on the skill. It's thrivetoday.org/skill 2. The link should also be in the description of this podcast. And again, you can check out podcast number 8. And there's a lot more resources on the Skill 2 page. So, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your story with us.
Yes, and I hope it's a blessing and encourages other people to keep trying and keep working on it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, friends, for joining us for this episode of Relational Skills in Real Life. We look forward to seeing you next time.